Yeah. I never know if it's actually like on now, but hello if it is.
It says live.
Yeah, I've got the thing.
Yep, there it goes on my screen.
Yeah. Hey, Bunny.
Live.
Hey.
Bunny is the moderator. Have I actually done that? Oh, I don't know if I've done that. I don't know if you have to do it. Oh, there you go. I've done it now. Yay, Bunny is now a moderator. That was quick. Anyway, hi, everyone. Welcome to another live of the Extinction trials. Hey, everyone. So we're just sort of going to take it quite easy for the 5 to 10 minutes now. Just have a little chat, see how everyone's doing, so people get notifications and rush over. We have a new person here, AJ. AJ, wave.
Hello.
Hey. I haven't linked anyone down in the description bar just yet, but I will do after the live because didn't figure out how to do that. So I'll edit afterwards. Yeah, and everyone's going to be linked. Yeah, so you can guys go and find them afterwards. But yeah, we were reading the Extinction trials, and if you're new here, we're going to discuss the book later on, but we will definitely let you know so you can leave if you haven't read it, so you don't spoil yourself. But first up, we're just gonna go around, and I think, do you guys think we should do the questions first or the nominations first?
Questions.
Yeah, say questions because that'll give us time to wake up.
Yeah, why we're so drowsy?
I hope they're not hard.
Oh yeah, these are maths questions. Questions.
Yeah. If you guys answering correctly, you banned. So basically, I asked for some bookish questions on Instagram for people to ask us, and then we can just chat a little bit here. So it's more of a chill start to the, as if it's gonna get intense. It's gonna get intense to the live, and we can see your comments. By the way, guys, if you're messaging on the side, I can see H is trying to get me banned. Nothing new there. Yeah, so let me just pick some questions. I haven't looked at them either because I wanted this to be a surprise. And then I'll ask you guys by name so we don't speak over each other, but I'm just going to ask on the order that it shows on my screen, so just randomly. Okay, so the first one is from Jen Roggs Bujo, and it's saying, what's the most important aspect of a story, a book make or break? So the first one on my screen is AJ.
Wow. A book make or break. So just in general, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's got to be interesting characters that I actually care about. It's got to be the main point of the book. Because if I don't care about the characters, then I don't really care about the book as a whole.
That's true.
Good characters for me, personally.
Yeah. Anna?
Characters. If there's not good characters, then I don't care. Even if the plot is super cheesy and bad, I don't care. But I'm such a character person.
Mm-hmm. Do you know, you guys, both of you, do you know what makes a good character to you?
Someone believable to me, and I understand their motives. Even if I don't agree with it, I'm like, oh yeah, I can see why they do that. And I also like an unreliable narrator.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it when it's written in first person and you know what they're thinking. It's my favorite.
Mm.
I mean, George R. R. Martin says the most interesting thing is the human heart in conflict with itself. So somebody who wants two things that are opposing to each other, and they have to sort of struggle with that moral dilemma of what they want to do. I guess it's quite interesting to see how people go through that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loving the fact that Anna's eating popcorn right now.
My mukbang.
This is very chill. I was liking AJ's idea that next time we should all just literally pop into our PJs and go super chill, even though I know for some of you it's 5 or 6 p.m. and some of them is although back for you is it's okay because it's still morning, so you could still be in your PJs.
Yeah, that would have been really nice.
I took my dressing gown off just before we began this. It's
Dressing
it's ready to go. Yeah. I was comfy.
Beck?
See, I'm going to go unpopular opinion here. I'm mainly plot focused, and I learned that when I was reading A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, because I find it's very character focused, and I just could not get through that book. It was. I know. Everyone's going to block me next.
Oh no!
Because I did exactly the same thing.
Oh no!
I need a good plot that's, just fast paced for me. I don't know why, but it just helps me get through it.
That's fair enough. Jade?
I'm going to say something different as well. I'm going to go with atmosphere. Atmosphere means everything to me, always. If I don't feel connected to the world, I can't be invested in the story. Like, if I can't feel it, I don't care.
Yeah, I feel like that's why you really like the Raven Boys and the Night Circus.
Yeah, atmosphere means everything to me.
Not everything, bird on the cover too.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Of course, bird on the cover. Yes.
Cover on there.
Is there like no bird on the cover -1 star automatically?
Of course.
Maybe we should get you like stickers, huh?
Yeah, if I like a book, it gets a little bird stuck on it. Yeah.
Jess?
Mine is writing. If I don't know, it could have like a semi-boring plot and semi-boring characters, but for some reason, if the writing is done really well, I like it. If I think a book is really interesting or the character is mildly interesting, if it's written poorly, I can't read it. I can't do it at all. And if a book is funny, I immediately like it.
Oh yeah, true. I do like a bit of humor as well, especially sarcasm or like sassiness. I will have to go with AJ and Anna though. For me, characters are the main thing. That's why sometimes I can read a book with literally no plot if I care about the characters. Yeah, but I never relate to characters. I don't really care about relating to them. But like Anna said, I really need to understand. They need to make sense. So then I don't just sit there questioning, why are you doing this? I think that's why with Lila, I just couldn't deal with, because it didn't make sense to me. It was just
Jade.
Jade and me, we're such good friends, but we really like different books.
No, yeah, we really do.
Yeah. Makes for a good conversation.
Of course.
Yeah.
Don't take it personally.
What do you mean? The book is my life. Someone is saying, Christina is saying, story structure is the most important thing. A good start, rising action, and ending, and character development. Bookish Link was saying depends on the genre. That's actually really true. Yeah.
Yeah.
What time is it there? Well, for me, it's after 11. Same as for Jade and AJ.
It's 6 here.
It is just past 8 a.m. here.
The early bird catches the worm.
I'm in the future. It's really cool here.
What's Sunday like?
Yeah,
it's great. It's a good day.
Then we got a question from Bookstagram Viv saying, what was the most surprising book of the year so far? Let's go back.
Oh, me? Oh, wait, I can reach it.
Is it what I think it is? Damn.
Oh my god, I still need to
Oh,
read
as
it.
the most surprising.
Logan's literally reading it right now.
I have it, but I just read it.
It was so good. Muse of Nightmares was amazing. I just can't even about it.
I'm crying inside.
You'll cry outside too when you read it. Oh wait, no, you don't cry. Never mind.
I cry sometimes.
I cried.
I'm a robot. That's what you made.
I cried twice today, just not for the books.
Oh, okay. I meant for the books. I meant for books.
Yeah, I know. Jay?
I can't think of anything that's been surprising for any reason other than it not being what I expected it to be. But A Shiver of Snow and Sky by Lisa Ludek.
I bought that because of you.
Yeah, I read that recently and it blew me away because it was not what I thought it was going to be, and it ended up being a polar fantasy, and you all know how I feel about them. Yeah. So it just took me in all the right places.
Anna?
I just read it. It's Hank Green's an absolutely
Oh,
remarkable something. I'm trying to look at my Goodreads right now, but I
yeah,
don't. But
you have it right.
I 5-starred it. I went into it blind, and it was so good. And then I found out a lot about Hank Green, that he was like John G. Green's brother, and he made
Yeah.
VidCon. And then I was just like, my mind was just blown. The book was amazing, and I mean, I'm a fan now. So,
Isn't it about YouTube?
Hmm?
Isn't it about a girl who gets viral on YouTube or something?
yeah, short version, but it's like very, it's juicy. I don't know. It was surprising to me what it was
I kind of
about.
want to read that now, but I will forget the name. If you could email if you could,
I'll put it in the Twitter chat.
could you fax it? Jess?
Neanderthal Opens the Door to the Universe by Preston
I
Norton.
still need to read that. Really.
I literally like I got it from NetGalley, and I was reading it at work, and I was having the worst day ever, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna read this book. Like, first book I ever got approved for. I was laughing so hard that I was crying, like literally crying, and people at work are like, are you okay? Like, no, this book is fucking hilarious. Literally best book I've read so far this year.
I
And
need
it's like
to read that.
it's a contemporary, which I do not like contemporary at all. Like at all, but it was phenomenal. I love it.
I sort of wish that was like a pick that won here, so we could all like just read and laugh.
You want me to nominate
Yeah.
it? I'll go get it. I'll read it again.
Fair point, if you want to. AJ?
I think for me, it's probably Spellslinger by Sebastian de Castell.
Good choice.
Peer pressured into that by Jade. I wasn't really expecting anything from it, but
Oh,
then
what does that say about me? Jesus.
but it was good. It turned out well, so you were let off there. But no, it was fast paced and fun, and I just wasn't expecting to get as sucked into the whole story as I was. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
I'm really happy to hear that.
Can someone like read the comments? I'm gonna pop in onto my Goodreads to look at mine.
Yeah. I'm writing.
This is really slow for me. I can't think of any, but like, let me refresh myself.
Vicious for Bunny. Bunny loved Vicious. Surprised the hell out of her.
Vicious was
Vicious is amazing.
yeah.
Hey, what was yours called?
Mine.
Your favorite book? Was it Shiver? What is it?
Shiver of Snow and Sky.
I don't really have one that's positive.
Going negative. There was no implication that we had to be positive.
I mean, true. I was just trying.
Wow, Jade. Wow.
I think. Okay, let's just go negative.
So you're gonna say Godblind?
Actually, no. I could say that or Leon the Offbeat as well, but it wasn't like too much of a surprise. But the biggest surprise was The Last Namzara, because I really thought I would like that, and then I just really didn't. So that was my biggest surprise, because like for the other ones, I was like, oh, it could go either way. You know, I'm not surprised that I don't like them, but for this one, I really thought I would.
I mean, the fact that I liked it probably should have implied that you wouldn't.
No, but it's like 50-50 with us, though. Like sometimes we will love the same stuff, and then sometimes we really won't. Yeah, I mean, it had dragons and fantasies, like all the things that I would, in theory, really like. It was just purely the writing style for me, just clashed. God, the miniatures made me rage. Oh yeah, the miniatures.
I think it made us rage as well.
That was last year, though. No, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, that was last year.
Yeah, but the miniatures.
But the sugar.
Oh my God, the sugar. Okay, Kirsty S is asking, what bookish trope would you make extinct? Which is in like matches our book, so it's fun. Oh yeah, I need to ask someone
to connect that.
Jade, look, you're speaking, so continue.
Pardon?
What was it? Oh my God.
The trope you'd get rid of.
Oh God. I don't know. Can you ask someone else first? Come back to me.
Okay. AJ?
Oh no.
Can I call a friend? Can I do 50-50?
Insta-love? Everybody hates Insta-love, right? 9 times out of
Yeah.
10.
Yeah,
True.
I'm okay with Insta-lust.
I like Insta love.
I love hate to love. That was a random thought. You're welcome. Beck?
I don't like the love triangle. Still hate the love triangle. Makes me super angry.
Jess?
I don't like absent adults,
Oh, same.
Ooh, yes.
which I didn't realize was a problem till I think it was a live stream, G, that you did with M, and you were
Yeah.
talking about that, and I was like, epiphany, like, oh my god, I hate that so much. And now every time I read it, I'm like, really?
Oh, that was a fun live stream. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I think it was, well, it still is, like the leader of the group not sharing the plan with anyone else, just for no apparent reason whatsoever. Just like for the plot and like the suspense, but like it would make so much sense and it would solve so many things if they just share the plan. I don't know if it's a trope, but it's something that pisses me off a lot. Because then you're
And
just
it's
like, well,
like
the whole book could have been solved if you just did that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jess?
I already answered.
Oh, sorry, Jade.
Again, I don't know if it's a trope, but just girl hate, like girl on girl hate, makes my blood boil. I can't stand it.
Anna, did you say it or not? I'm literally not
No,
keeping up.
I don't know if it's a trope, but when for some reason we get a bunch of characters and you don't really know why they're there and we don't get a lot about them.
Just like filler.
Yeah.
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 I think we should wave a magic wand and force authors to make their love triangles into threesomes.
I agree with this.
Petition.
I like this idea. We don't hate tropes, we just see them a lot because we spend a lot of our time reading them.
Yeah. Okay, let's do one more question, I think, and then go to nomination and then go on to the talk. Sorry, they changed my contact prescription. It's not correct. It's like,
You're blind. That's the problem.
I know. It just never gets right. Oh, someone else is asking, what's the most surprising read? Ooh, okay. Inked by Books is asking, favorite fictional sibling relationship? That's a good one.
Wow.
Beck?
Oh god. No, I'm not ready.
Okay, who is ready? Just start speaking.
Thought.
Okay, Anna?
A Wrinkle in Time.
Oh, Jess, you sent that to me. I still haven't read it. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I sent you the graphic novel.
Yeah.
Magic siblings.
Is that like brother and sister?
Yeah, and they travel space together with
Oh.
witches. It's really cute.
Yo. I could just go with like Weasleys.
True.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because like, you know, I'm gonna go with that. Because I mean, like all the other ones are usually like rivals. So like Three Dark Crowns springs to mind.
That's what I'm currently thinking. Like all the siblings I can think of off the top of my head are all kind of somewhat against each other.
Or like from Hunger Games, like Prim
Yeah.
and her sister.
Katniss.
Yeah, that one. The main character.
Yeah, the main character of the book.
The Starks, all the Starks are pretty cool. Stark family.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah. I don't think I've got one.
It's a good question though.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I'm gonna go with the twins from The Shining because they're terrifying. And I don't particularly like or care enough to remember any other siblings from books. Like that, I can't think of any that like stuck out.
Yeah.
I just read Dry by Neil and Jared Schusterman, and they had a good they had a good sibling kind of pair.
They're also siblings. No, they're not. That's not called siblings. That's just related. Okay, never mind. Whatever. I'm foreign. Leave me be. Oh, someone's actually asking questions there. Do you guys only focus on published novels, or do you also read on Wattpad? I like not on purpose, but only read published novels.
I read unpublished stuff. I'm reading an unpublished book right now.
Mm.
It just depends on who sends stuff, or like what we have access to at the time.
Yeah.
I'm not on Wattpad because I feel like I'm 100 and don't know how to use the internet half the time.
Anyone else reads on somewhere else that's not like non-published? If like fanfic is probably on Wattpad, is that what it is? I honestly join you.
Oh, well, in that case, I read a lot of Harry and Draco.
Well, there you go. That's
that I read a
unpublished.
crap ton of, so yes.
Cool. Well, if you guys have any questions at all at any point, just feel free to like pop those in there and we will do that. And I think let's go on to the nominations. So we're each gonna, well, other than Beck, we're each gonna nominate a book and then I'll put it in the random generator that I totally have prepared. And if you guys could tell us just a tiny bit about what the book is about and what's the reason that you want us to read that, that'd be great. So let's start with Jess.
With me? Okay. I chose Wake of Vultures by Lila Bowen. This is a first in a series, but it's got like Patrick Rothfuss and Chuck Wendig and stuff have reviewed it. But it's about a girl who is in a community. She lives in like she's technically a half-breed who dresses like a boy. And she lives with a bunch of people who don't call her a slave, but treat her like a slave. And then one day she meets a man and they get into a fight and she stabs him and basically he turns to black sand. And then all of a sudden she can see because apparently she was blind before that. And that's just pretty much what the story is about, is like her life. And it just sounded like something that we'd all kind of find interesting. I feel like it's different. So I chose it.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to find that website that I use for the picking.
And it's pretty short. It's like under 400 pages.
I think that's it. Sorry, what was the name?
Wake of Vultures.
That sounds interesting to me. I would be
Is it
interested.
because there's a bird in the title?
Well, also, yeah, the other ones are like Malice of Ravens, things like that. But it doesn't have a bird, but it has a bird feather.
I feel so
Vultures
attacked right now.
So attacked right now.
Anna?
Killing Commendatore by Haruki Murakami. He is one of my favorite authors, and it's his new book. And I don't really know that much about the synopsis, except for they said it's kind of like a modern day version of The Great Gatsby.
Killing, sorry, what?
Commendatore.
Okay, I'm just gonna put killing and then
Dead. Yeah.
and then we'll type it in the chat if it wins, so everyone knows what it is. Because like I will not spell that correctly. I also really like that author wrote a lot of things. No.
Excuse me?
Did that author write like quite a few things?
Yeah. He's like a classic Japanese novelist.
Yeah, I think I've constantly seen that in the bookstore, and I constantly wanted to, like, from the teen years, I think, to pick that up and never did, so that could be pretty cool. AJ?
I'm going to go with The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller.
Ooh.
About Achilles and the Trojan War, and it focuses on the relationship between him and his lover Patroclus as they go about the Trojan War. I don't really know too much about what goes on, but I'm a sucker for ancient Greece, so this one.
Bunny is really happy in the comments there with this one.
Let's hear, yeah.
Oh, sorry, there's a question. Let's stop for a question. Okay. Do you think that some booktubers' dislike for so-called toxic relationships is born out of ignorance, as there are some people who thrive and enjoy those type of relationships? What?
I don't understand how someone can thrive off a toxic relationship.
Yeah, I can understand why it's maybe intriguing to some to read about it. I think that dislike is just normal human reaction to that.
I don't mind it if it's depending on the type of book it's in. If it's supposed to be like a, you know what I mean? Like if there's no redemption for it or like story being told from it, then I don't like it. If it's just in there to be in there, then I'm like, what the hell was the point? But that goes with any kind of bad writing.
Well, yeah, I suppose if there's something negative to be turned into a positive,
Yeah.
like as you
It
said,
all depends on the
redemption
message
from
to
it
be
or
told, to
something.
be fair. Anything could be really good. Yeah, it just depends on everything, right? Like we can't just say like, oh, we really dislike this thing, because it really depends on the whole story and how you...
She's clarified. I mean, well, some people actually do enjoy those relationships as much as you hate to believe it.
I don't hate to
Everyone's
believe
each to their
anything.
own, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay. Beck? Oh no, you're skip. Jade?
I'm opting to skip because I don't feel passionate about anything currently.
Okay. Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
goodness.
You sound like you're dead inside. Why did you say that?
Nothing.
Yeah, it just there's
I don't care about
nothing on my
anything.
TBR at the minute. I think it's because I've read so much lately that nothing on my TBR is jumping out at me at the minute. So I'm gonna let you guys take the wheel.
Take the wheel.
And so my choice is, what was my choice? Oh, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which is quite a short sci-fi sort of like classic, I suppose. And it was the inspiration for the movie, oh my god, what's it called? The Blade Runner. There we go. It's only like 200 pages or something, so even if you're not into sci-fi, I hope that it's not going to be too horrible if we do pick it. And one of my best friends read it, who's not a big reader, and she absolutely loved it. So good stuff. So I'm gonna put that in. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's what it's about. I think it's very basically the same as Detroit game. If you play that, I know AJ is playing it at the moment. So the androids are introduced as sort of human. Don't really want to say like slaves, but that's what it was said in the synopsis, I think. So just like to be used by humans, and then I think it's all about them maybe becoming aware of what they are, and then it just all escalates from there.
So you're trying to terrify me? Because that's like my
But I
biggest
thought you
fear
like scary things, though. You like Stephen King and stuff.
Yeah, but that, vampires and stuff don't really exist. But computers becoming actually sentient is like
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that that's something that genuinely terrifies you.
it's literally the only thing that
Sorry,
I'm like afraid of in
I
writing.
don't think it's to terrify you.
She's like, "Oh, you want to have a nice Christmas? No, you're gonna read this book." Thanks.
Okie
doke. Is that everything? Yeah.
Did you put in Taylor's nomination?
No, because we're doing only the people who are on the stream now. Okie doke. I think that's everything. So I'm gonna do the thing again and try. And, oh my god, I can't see. Well, one.
Oh,
Yay, Jess!
Yeah, one.
I'm excited by
Yay.
this.
Wake up, Vulture. Sorry, I was trying to put it. What was it about?
Really?
It's fine. No, it's fine. I'll
The blind
rewatch the thing.
girl that stabs a guy and turns to black dust, and then she can see.
Yeah.
I was paying attention because it had a bird on the cover.
Thanks, happy birthday.
Okay, so I think this is a perfect timing because it's half of the live now. So everyone who has not read the book, which is the Extinction Trials, be aware that from this point onwards, we're going to speak freely about the book with all of the spoilers. So if you haven't read it, it might be a good idea to either come back after you have done that, or just we'll see you in the next one. We hope you guys are going to join us in the reading of, what was it? Wake Up Vultures or something?
I swear to God.
Yeah.
Wake Up Vultures. It looks like it looks like this.
Yeah, and we will type it in and we will release the videos reminding that, and we hope that you guys enjoy it as well. But yeah, everyone who has not read the book, we're gonna spoil it all now, so be aware of that. And yeah, we're just gonna go around the table and say, just sort of like in short, how many stars you gave the book and your general thoughts on it. So who's gonna volunteer as tribute?
Should I go first since I didn't finish it?
Sure.
I did not finish it.
Oh, wow.
In that case, so I got to page 263 of 380, and I just couldn't do it anymore. So because I couldn't finish it, it wasn't one of those ones that I just like put on my shelf and I was like, oh, I'll try again later. No, I sold it. I didn't want it anymore. But I'm not going to rate it on Goodreads, so I don't really know what to rate it. I guess, I DNF'd it and sold it to like a 1 star. I just really didn't like it at all. I didn't care about the characters. The story was so slow and so weirdly paced. So weirdly paced that I couldn't read it at all. I couldn't read it. It just, every time I got into it, the pacing would change. And when they went from Lincoln to Storm Chaser's perspectives, it threw me off every single time. So 1 star.
Beck?
I didn't love it. Which is disappointing because I was reading it and I was going, oh, everyone's gonna not like me. But I think I gave it a 3 stars. I haven't finalized my review yet. I think it wrote very young, in my opinion. I just kept getting there was a lot of just young writing there. I'm really specific about grammar and writing rules, I guess, from English at school, and there were things like you started a sentence with and, or I think there was a spelling error at some point, and I was like, oh, this could have been edited a touch better, in my opinion. But I think I liked the dinosaur element, and I liked that the main character I felt like she was kind of didn't want to hurt the animals, which I really related to, but it was just a bit average for me, I think.
I'll go next. I gave it, how many stars did you give?
3.
3. I gave it 3 stars as well. I actually really enjoyed the first half of it. Really enjoyed. I wasn't, ooh, this is gonna be 5 stars, but I really did enjoy it. And I think the first half was more of a Game of Thrones thing, because he pitched it as a Game of Thrones versus featured whatever.
Hunger Games, do you mean?
What did I say?
Game of Thrones.
That one. Hunger Games, and then the dinosaur one. Yeah, and I really enjoyed the Hunger Games part of it, the whole competition and having to pass something and earning your spot and whatever. And then it went from having that clear goal to what are you guys even doing? I know they still had the goal of to collect the eggs, but just nothing made sense to me. And that was the biggest fall for the book. I honestly, I don't think I've ever gave any book 1.5 for logic. It's just
wow.
It was. I have so many things that I noted. I was like, but why? So I think it just stopped me from enjoying it, because I constantly questioning why, and why is it not done like that, and why is the government not actually aiding you because you have the same goal? It was just so weird. So overall, it sort of equaled out to 3. And another thing I really didn't like about this that I never had before was the last sentence of each chapter, each part, was such a stereotype from TV shows or movies when they cut into a next scene, and I think I maybe screenshotted some, I'm not sure, but oh my god, I've never noticed that in a book before ever, and it was just such a like a segue, and I was like, wow, that is so unnatural, or maybe unusual in the book. But I did enjoy it at the beginning, especially, so I gave it a 3-star rating. Jess? Oh, sorry, Jade. I always look at me.
We need to log in at different times so we're not right by each other in the chat.
Yeah.
It goes in alphabetical order. So we'll always be next to each other.
Yeah.
If you're coming for me, though, I think I'm going to have a different opinion to everyone. I liked it, but I read it when I was in my massive 3-month slump. It was the first book I read after not reading anything for literally like 90 days. So I think because it read so young, it did read young, it read really young. But it was so easy to read. It was such a great transition back into reading when I was in such a huge slump. So I enjoyed it more than I think I would if I read it again now. Like if I read it,
thought about Godblind.
Yeah, I think I gave it 4 stars though. I at the time, because obviously I'm basing this on the time of reading because I haven't reread it. At the time, I liked the characters, I liked the plot, I liked the dinosaur content. Like I thought it was a decent read, but as I say, I was in a strange place then. So whether I would agree with myself is a completely different matter.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it though when you did read it.
No, yeah, it was a great, as I said, it was a great transition read.
And people are saying in the chat that it was definitely a nice, easy, fast read.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Anna?
Yeah, so I liked it. I gave it 4 stars. I want to read the sequel. I liked how it's like you could just turn your brain off, and like I wasn't trying to like make sense of the world or anything. I was just like, oh, this is fun. They're climbing cliffs, and I really, really like the dinosaur aspect too. Yeah, the dinosaurs were really cool. Like the world, like I could have like taken or leave, like like, it was either. Bless you.
Thank you.
But it just, yeah, it was solid to me. It was easy. It was fun. Yeah, like the characters were fine. I feel like they had agency to like be there and to like do what they were doing. And I just had a lot of fun reading it.
That's really good. AJ?
So I gave it 2 stars, or like 2.5 stars if you want to be like specifics, probably around there. I did think it was a fast read. I did think it was pretty fast paced throughout the whole thing, but yeah, the logic for it just threw me out mostly. Like if I had to summarize my thoughts on it, it would just be like, but why? Most of the time, I just didn't understand why things were happening. There just seemed to be a lot more simple solutions to things. And I thought there wasn't a lot of conflict and tension in it. And if there was, it felt just forced. But yeah, not the best.
Well, it's nice to have like different opinions because
I think this is the first time we've had such a variety of opinions.
I think I liked a book.
I think we always have that, but like I did want the group to have very different tastes in general, so it's really nice.
Yeah.
And as Jade, you pointed out, like every time someone's gonna read a book, it's that specific time in their lives.
Yeah.
So you might love a book and then read the same book 3 years afterwards and be like, well, this is rubbish. Or the other way around and be like, oh my God, I love it. Yeah, so what did we think about the characters?
Who's first?
Someone, just start talking.
I don't know, I found, fairly flat, I think, generally. I don't think there was much. Because I found, what's the main villain's name? Galen? I didn't understand that guy at all. I was like, what? Why?
No, I would agree with that.
In there, because I was like, well, that is just clearly an unhinged person. Just to be like sort of careful of. I kind of like the existence of him.
I like Galen
I did think we're gonna know why he's acting like that. I thought it was gonna be some sort of heart-wrenching reason for him to be like, putting his emotions aside and just being like hunking everywhere, just like slamming in everyone's faces, being like me first. But
I don't. But why was he even being like that? It makes no sense.
Never got his story.
Yeah. Maybe
I
he
would have
was
liked to
about to
have
tell
story.
it, but then he got like a problem of not having a hand, and that took priority.
Yeah.
So
My guess is
Yeah.
probably family or something. That seemed to be like everybody's motivation to be there was they're just trying to take care of their family.
yeah,
Or, you know, maybe he was just like a Gaston trope who was just like, I need to win everything. And, you know, like,
yeah. Maybe he's just one of those people who's just like me.
yeah.
And he like threw that person off the cliff who wasn't even
Yeah.
Yeah.
no need. Why? I don't know. What do you think about the main like mystery through it of who Storm Chaser's father is?
I figured that out pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think
Once
it
he
was very
asked, like,
predictable.
who's your mom? It's just like, clearly you fucked her. Like,
I don't know the ending. Can somebody tell me the ending so I can know what happened?
oh, the ending was dumb.
Mm.
I don't even know how to explain it.
So wait, who are you? So are you saying it's the Inquisitor person, the main guy?
Huh?
Her father?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatchamacallit?
Because
So
it
I can't remember his name.
because it wasn't actually confirmed though, was it?
I think it was enough for me to be
I
like,
believed it.
yeah.
Because I thought they were setting up that the man in the cave is her dad.
I didn't get that at all.
No, I also didn't get that at all.
Whoa, how'd you get that?
I just think that was the mystery. Because didn't he say that he's not her dad? I thought that was the whole thing. That it was building up to that he was her dad, and then it actually turned out that he's not her dad. I thought that was the whole thing.
No, I thought he was for that.
I
Or
thought he was
maybe-
bad.
Maybe I missed that. Because I think like that's going to be the thing for the second book. She's going to go back to the island, and he's going to be the dad because he left his family, didn't he? And he wanted to because the guy in the cave slept with a woman and he shouldn't have, and had a family, so he was banished.
Yeah, but they said that like the family still lives on, and like he had a photo of them, so surely they would recognize from the photo. You know, when he had
did he
the
have
photo.
a photo of them?
Yeah, and his like
Oh, I missed
like
that.
made up hut.
Made up.
I thought all of it was leading towards the government guy being her dad. Like,
Yeah, no, that's what I felt like it was
Yeah.
leading obviously towards
the
that. And
whole eye
I
thing.
misread it then. I misread it because I thought that's what it was setting up, but then it twisted it.
And then it was twisting. Right. I didn't
It's just
get
because
that.
no one else had purple eyes
Yeah.
or whatever color they
Yeah,
were.
yeah, that was
Because that's what I thought. I thought it was too obvious. If that was the answer, I thought it was like, oh, that was quite obvious.
I just want
I mean, it
to
was that kind of book, you know.
yeah, I
think
just
it was-
want to lightly address something that's like in the comments. Is from Courtney. She's saying that she finds it like slightly frustrating to see people forgetting about reading stories and like being constantly critical. Well, that's sort of like the point of us reading. We try to read critically, so then we can present the information that what we think about the book.
We are
people-
reviewers. That is the point.
Yeah, so people know if they would like that book, possibly if they have similar taste to us. And I definitely wouldn't say that we don't read for pleasure, because if it wasn't pleasurable, we wouldn't do it, because like no one pays us to read these things. We simply try and read, not even try, like, I think at this point we just read critically, because that's just how we read. And I like to question things, because that's what a good story to me is, when I don't question it and I just like delve into it. So it's definitely not us attacking the reading experience itself. If we wouldn't enjoy it, we wouldn't do it. But I think it's important to speak about things that you notice, because otherwise no one would speak about stories,
Yeah,
and no one would like discuss it, because it would just be like, oh, I love this and I love this and I love that. And we speak about things that we love, but we also feel like we have to point out the things that could be made better. So then we can look for that in the next book and stuff like that.
I mean, I think I read for enjoyment, but that doesn't mean that I enjoy everything I read.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Jade always says in her videos that she only
I
like,
rate for enjoyment, like
Yeah,
how I
Jade
rate
definitely
if I liked it or not. But that doesn't mean that I like everything that I read. I read plenty of things I don't like, so I rate it poorly and then explain why I didn't like it. That's the
yeah,
whole
there's so
point
many
of
books
what
that we
do.
love. Yeah. Anyway, so I thought I'll just address that. anyone else has anything else to say about the characters? I actually really liked. I say that and then start talking myself.
I have another point as well, but carry on.
I actually liked Storm Chaser because of her like softness towards like animals and her like actual lack of motivation. I kind of liked because I was like, I get you. Just like being like, okay, so there's no one pretty much like stopping you from going, and there's not a lot of going on, and you just really want to. And then she goes on, and I'm just like, you do you.
Yeah, you do you. Absolutely.
Yeah. They didn't, as dynamic, they didn't make a lot of sense to me, especially at the end, where she felt all betrayed. And I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Someone tell us about what the end was.
Oh yeah. They take the eggs back, and then Storm Chaser smashes the eggs.
What?
What?
And then they duel.
She tries to smash the eggs.
Yeah.
Seriously?
And then they duel because there has to be like one winner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's three of them that they like try to. Yeah, like nothing made sense to me. I'm like, first of all, you're trying to like literally screw everyone over, but then you get upset because he tried to like take the prize for himself when you just try to destroy the prize. Yes, I can totally see why you're so upset. Like, what?
But then didn't everyone win in the end? Wasn't everyone a winner? Wasn't that the whole thing?
Isn't it the taking part that counts?
Yeah, she was basically like, here, this is my family now.
Participation
and like
level.
adopted everybody.
Yeah, but didn't they say that like she had documentation? I suppose she's now pulling the strings because like she's gonna like expose him as the father or something, so nothing matters.
I had a couple of things about not massive things, but I didn't get why Lincoln didn't share his story of why he was in the competition. He was like very secretive about like, I'm here for my sister, whereas everyone else was like, I'm here for my family, and he was like just didn't want to share.
I think at one point he mentioned saying that he doesn't want people to know his like weakness to like not use it against him.
It just made it easier for him to then backstab everyone else because he didn't have any like connection to anyone. He hadn't shared his story, so he felt disconnected from the people he was with.
Do you guys think we were supposed to like Lincoln, or?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
you're meant to like understand where he's coming from.
Yeah. Which I kind of like. Did you guys think he will actually do it at the end though? When you were reading it, did you think that he is gonna go and claim it for himself?
Yeah.
I believed it. That he would.
Yeah, but then like, did you judge him for it?
No.
It was his ambition the whole time. I think I would have judged him more harshly if he didn't.
Yeah.
Follow your dreams. I think that's kind of job well done on the writer's side though, because he's clearly doing something that will screw up a lot of families, but you're still not judging him. So I think that's well done, even though a lot of people.
I think in a way it was weirdly relatable. Like if I was in his situation, I would do the same. If my sister was going to die and I needed to do something drastic to save her, I would.
Yeah.
Another thing I found weird on the Carol, just like that caught my attention with the characters, is Dell, Storm Chaser's like best friend. When she decides that she's going to go to the island, and he says, "Oh no, screw that! I'm not going to do that." He's like, oh, "Okay, bye then. See you later," knowing that he's basically probably never going to see his best friend, and he's just like, "All right, see you later. Enjoy." It's like, I don't know. It seems weird. If I knew my best friend was probably going to die and I'd never see them again, I thought I'd be a bit more like emotional at that point, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. What did you guys think about the like romance? I don't even know. I'm a bit like hesitant to call it that, because was it just like a connection? What was it? Because at first I was like, sure, this is gonna happen, but then like nothing.
Hormones. Like, yeah, I don't know. I was confused about that too.
Yeah.
I feel like it was kind of like an afterthought almost, you know? And I'm like, well, we can like dabble in a romance, but not like, you know, go
save it for the second
100%. Yeah. It was like casual. I don't know. I could have done without it, honestly. It just didn't
do much.
Yeah, it was very insta, and then it wasn't like complete, which I'm kind of happy that it wasn't complete because clearly they both had like walls around like themselves, so they didn't really, well, especially Lincoln didn't want to get close to anyone.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about atmosphere. I'm literally going through Copile, but like, don't mind me.
That's funny.
Well, Jade, you're a big fan of atmosphere.
I am a big fan of atmosphere. And considering I rated it so highly, looking back on it, the atmosphere wasn't its strongest point, but I kind of draw setting and atmosphere together half the time, and I really like the setting and the environment, which I suppose kind of comes hand in hand with atmosphere with me. So I did like it, but it definitely wasn't the strongest, but I felt connected enough to enjoy it. Does that make any sense? Did I just ramble about nothing?
No, it makes sense.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I never really felt the danger of the dinosaurs when we were there, like just throughout the world. It felt like there was only ever danger where the eggs were, like when they were just walking
What
around.
about the water, dude?
I was going to say the water.
The
Yeah,
mastodon.
but they knew that was coming because they were like, "Oh, we don't like this. We need to get across here as quick as possible." So
There's two mastodons though.
there wasn't any point where it was like unexpected, where they were just sort of like walking
Well,
along.
I was constantly sort of like on edge, like anyone can like jump up.
Yeah.
I wasn't like scared, but that's probably because of the writing. Because as you guys all pointed out, it was quite like easy, and like simple, but it was nice for like a really easy read at the same time. But I don't think that scary can be done in easy. Do you know what I mean? Because it has to be like full on descriptive or like very atmospheric. But the water scene, and especially going back, I know like more stuff happened. Well, no, not really, but like going back when they were returning the eggs through the water, like that was very intense.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
you think you got away with it, and then they're like, bam, okay, and then the guy was thrown by the like the tail, and that was savage. Because like
it kind of
he broke
shocked
his
me.
spine, but he was still alive. Like that is horrid.
Yeah.
Just like wheezing there. Oh.
I think that first water scene like really got me because I was like, oh, you know, like whatevs, we're crossing a lake, and then like shit went down. I was like, oh, this is the kind of book we're getting here. Okay, no worries. I felt like it really like took me back a bit, and then everything else I was like, oh god, don't go near the water.
Didn't it happen on the boat, like the big ship on the way in too?
Yeah. The big giant shark.
Yeah.
This has reminded me of something I wanted to say about characters. The fact that one of the side characters got eaten by the dinosaur in the sea. That's the one. See, forgotten his name because the side characters were underdeveloped and I didn't care about them. Carry on.
Same.
Like I didn't care when he got eaten. Like, okay.
No.
Yeah.
I had a random thought about the Milo dino.
Yeah.
Just how cute when he saw like the first family, and then the contrast of like, bam, you dead.
Yeah.
I like the atmosphere a lot. I liked when they went to, I don't even remember what the continent is called, but when they went there and just like the smells of it and just like
I just describing all the colors and
yeah, like living on top of each other and probably having really bad air quality, and then going to like this Jurassic place and like hanging out with dinosaurs. Like I feel like I would probably be a cave person. Like, I'm just gonna eat fruit now. Like there's no fruit on the other world. Like I'll stay here, you know. So I really like that part.
I think when they did step off the ship, it was fairly atmospheric. So for the atmosphere, I don't think this was like the worst.
Yeah. And even just like swimming with the plesiosaurs. Am I saying that right? I don't know.
I have no idea. But
But like they were just so nice and they saved her life, and I just really liked the dinosaurs in it a lot, and I thought it was cute how she cared a lot about them too, and like was a warrior for the dinosaurs. And just like swimming in the loch with the dinosaurs, it just seemed really nice. And like, I don't know, it just seemed like everybody had like really healthy skin. Like,
oh man, I wish we knew like a little bit more about her accent. I thought like, because I know she explained it, but to me, I was expecting something like, I don't know, something a bit more from that story. And it was just like, yeah, I just started drowning, and the one just like pushed me off, and I was like,
yeah.
They do seem to have like a really eerie intelligence level though, because like, where does this stop? You know?
Yeah.
Because that is a lot of problem solving with that little dino did.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? Writing style.
Oh boy.
It was a bit F for me.
Young, just so
Yeah.
very young and simple, but perfect for a quick read. As I'm just going to repeat myself, like getting back into reading, it was the perfect, easy, quick, young.
Yeah, but then to the same extent, I felt like there are books that are also written really simple, like The Hunger Games, for example, because obviously this is like sort of measured to that. And I felt like that was more interesting to me, and on a completely different level. This was sort of like, the way I think about this book, I enjoyed it, but it was like half-baked. So it was like half of The Hunger Games, do you know what I mean?
I've never read The Hunger
Even for
Games.
like an easy read, for me, it was like, there are better ones, you know?
Yeah.
But I did enjoy the first half for some reason way more. But not because of the dinosaurs at all. I actually did enjoy that part, but I think it was just the whole, like, the more I read, the more questions I had, and then I couldn't like read without thinking about them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think this is one of those books that unfortunately the second one's going to answer so many of the questions, but there isn't enough information in the first one to make you want to read the second one, because there wasn't enough answer. There's just a ton of questions like, oh, just read the second one, like, but there's no real story in the first one then.
Sorry, I was reading the comments. Yeah, I think that the whole government side of the things is going to be addressed in the second one, but I wish we had like at least a glimpse, because for the whole time it just felt to me like the government is actually against you, even though they're sending you on a mission to help them, you know? It didn't make sense. Like for the Hunger Games, they're sending you off, right? But you're supposed to fight each other, so there's not a lot of inclination for them to help you. But here they're literally sending you off on a mission to help them, but they're not giving all of the information nor the equipment or like training to actually make sure you succeed. And it just made no sense to me. Like, why? That's a waste of like resources, even if it's only to like ship you, you know?
Yeah, especially since they even addressed that in the book. They're like, because some of them got some things that other people didn't, remember? Like Storm Chaser got the water purifying tablets, and somebody else got like a gun.
Oh, that was because there was a dude stealing from them later on in the book.
Oh.
So they explained that, yeah. They basically met a guy who was living there for like 6 years because he was in the previous expeditions, but they didn't allow him back.
That far, Jess? I thought you would have.
No, I DNF'd it about 120 pages till the end.
Okay.
The part that I was at was right after they got when Lincoln went up on the cliff and got the egg and then fell.
Oh yeah.
And the egg was smashed. That's where I was.
I think it was right after that.
Okay. It was shortly after that.
Yeah, and then they ran.
Yeah, they went to the T-Rex place.
Right.
Damn.
Did anyone notice that the map spoiled his entry?
No.
Because if you look
there was a map.
If you look at the map, it says
I did see the
Blaine's
map, but...
shack.
Oh my
literally
God.
right there,
Glad I
Blaine's
didn't
shack,
see
and I
that.
was like, you ruined it.
I'm really into maps. I can't believe I didn't. I don't think mine had a map.
I don't.
I
even
looked at the map. There was definitely a map, but I just didn't notice the.
Okay.
Or if I did, I didn't like think about it.
Yeah.
Like,
one
note to
thing that I
self,
was
don't
sort
spoil
of
the
like-
book in the map.
Does anyone have like an idea? Is this supposed to be like in the future or in the past? Because I
Oh my God, I wondered that so hard because they say things that I'm like future, and then they say stuff and I'm like future that has been sent back to the past. Like, I don't know.
Maybe it's like an alternate world is what I'm thinking, but at the same time, I'm like, they have so much technology, but they're only now realizing what DNA is. They have all this technology at the same time, but they don't have planes or helicopters. And I'm just like, and they don't know what DNA is, but they know how to create vaccines. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay.
When I first started it, I was like, okay, so it seems like it was an advanced group that something traumatic happened to them, and then they were set back. But then later on, like you said, they didn't know what DNA was, and I was like,
yeah.
But also, I wonder if
so much. Maybe they just hide the DNA and everything from the public, which is the only thing that would make sense.
Yeah, like they sent it into a dark ages or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's future, and we lost some information.
Yeah, but they also like don't teach them stuff in school at all. Like,
but they teach them dumb stuff like maps.
But I think maybe they're just afraid of people actually like being smart enough to like revolt.
Figure shit out.
I'm going with, but I wish they just explained it a bit more so I wouldn't have to theorize after reading the whole book.
Yeah, that's true. Because I mean, it does make sense that it's like a dark ages, or like how they even got there. I don't know if they really even touched that much about like where'd all the resources go? Like, why is there a population problem? Like, what happened? Because that's my favorite part. Like, I'm okay if like, oh, this is a dystopian world, but I just want to at least know how we got there. Because that's like my favorite part always, is to know the catastrophe that led to that, you know?
Yeah.
I love Bunny's comment that she's just made. I think it's going to turn out that they're figuring how to use DNA to get rid of the people and deal with the overpopulation problem.
Is anybody planning on reading the second one? Can they tell me what happens in the second one?
Yeah.
Tell me what happens when you read it.
Also, I saw on Twitter today that the third one's coming out as well.
Oh, there is a third one.
Yes, it's called Rebel.
Yeah. What?
I do really love the covers, random note, but I really do love the covers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice.
So pretty. But yeah, I wish just had more information so I wouldn't have to constantly sort of think about the issues that I have with the book while reading it, because I think it really took out of the enjoyment.
If I find out in the sequels, I'll let you know.
Yeah. It still should stand at its own, you know, the first book always should stand at its own.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Where are we up to in Core Pile?
No, not yet, but we don't have to go through all of it. I'm just reading through my notes because I made notes to see if I want to make something else or ask you guys what you think of something else.
What was your favorite bit of the book? Your favorite scene?
Yeah, guys, do that.
I liked it when they got off the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know why, but the bit where they first scale that cliff, I don't know why that's the most vivid bit.
In training?
Yeah, like the very first one where like Galen.
I do remember that quite vividly, and I think I read it the longest ago. And I do still remember that quite vividly.
My favorite bit.
It's like that part was properly written and edited.
I clearly was sorry. I was clearly raging here in the notes. They don't recognize a boat, you know, when they like found the wooden boat. And like, they don't recognize the boat, a lot of exclamation marks, but they know how, like, what rowing is. They're like reading back. I'm like, what?
I think they recognized the boat, they just didn't recognize it was made out of wood.
Yeah. No, I realized that afterwards. That's why I'm like really laughing at it now. I also, I actually really enjoyed the bit where it was so eerie when they were, because you were asking about the favorite parts, where they were going on the water and it was so like something's gonna happen, which makes me feel like maybe I would like scary books. So
maybe.
Who knows?
I have recommendations if you're looking for recommendations.
I will come to you first, yeah.
Okay.
I really liked it when they first figured out how clever the velociraptors were, when they worked out how to put the fire out.
Yeah.
I liked the kind of shock realization of like, oh my god, these animals actually are intelligent. I really liked that part.
What happened with the velociraptors though? Did they just like
ran away?
In the end?
Got bored.
Yeah, they were just like, not worth it.
All I kept thinking of was Jurassic Park and how that one like followed her into the kitchen and like was moving shit around to find her up. Like those velociraptors would have waited under that tree.
Yeah.
Somebody fell out.
like shook it or something.
Yeah, that's probably why I didn't really like the book, because Jurassic Park is one of my favorite books of all time. So for me, I was like, more dinosaurs, less human, please.
I feel like sometimes books actually sabotage themselves by publishing, well, like by marketing as something needs something, because then people's expectations are like, woo.
Yeah.
I know it's not the author that does that at all. It's going to be the publishing, but it might sometimes not really help. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the end for this one. That went fast. I actually feel like I like the book more after speaking to you all.
I think I just want a show of the book more now than to read the book ever again.
Maybe they'll make it into a movie.
I never say this, but I wish they would have made this a movie instead of a book.
But they wrote it like it was a movie, though.
They did.
Yeah, they did. All the segues are all there.
Yeah.
There was one ending, and it was literally like, let's make a plan. And I was like,
It's like Ocean 11 constantly in my mind. Yeah, some bits were really bad. Like the end sentences, if you just go back and read the last sentence of every, like, not like chapter, but like the part, you know how it was like set into parts. I would like,
Beck, you have a
The
physical
cringe.
copy. Just do that for us quick.
yeah, I was actually trying to find the one that I was literally like, I wrote it in my notes, and I was like, oh God. Because literally this one's, she smiled as they walked forward. Let's find out.
Hannah, next Tuesday, same time.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is just not good.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, they're very much all like that.
Mm.
Oh, tomorrow was the hike. The next day, the T-Rex.
Oh, I love it. I love the camp. It's so campy.
Yeah,
It has its charm, and like some bits were written well, you know.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think that's it. So thank you guys for joining us, and I hope that you guys join us for the next quarter. Oh, date. That would be useful.
Oh, yeah.
Probably should have that at the beginning, but we'll make the videos and we'll let people know. So wait, the middle month is gonna be January, yes?
January, yeah.
26th is the last Saturday of that, which seems okay, no?
Yep.
We'll let you guys know if anything changes, but that is the date that we think it's gonna happen now.
You said January 26th?
Mm-hmm. I think,
Got it in.
Cool. Well, and that is everything then. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will, as I said, I will leave everybody's links down below. I'll hopefully do that tomorrow. And yeah, bye.
Bye.
Bye.